Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Daily English Talk, your friendly spot to learn English daily that is kept sweetheart through basic conversations, useful phrases, and random fun practice. I am Emily, and together we will be going slowly with you toward mastering your English. Hit that subscribe button and the bell so you shall never miss out on classes. Let us move forward. During my growing years, I thought life was going to be an easy one. I figured all the good things were there to just enjoy, and there was never a need to worry about anything serious. We were rich. My parents had worked hard to give me a comfortable life. There was never any occasion when my parents refused me something for the second time. I wanted a new video game. Dad got it for me. I wanted an exquisite phone. Mom got it for me. I wanted to parade around in attire from the very best brands in town. They were there. In such an environment, education was never on my list. I never really cared to study and often gave the most careless answers whenever interrogated by a teacher. The thought of a future never really bothered me. I thought, why should I bother now when I can enjoy my life today? All my friends would try to advise me to think about the future, and I would laugh. They said, one day you're going to have to work and earn something for yourself. But I would just shake my head. I was too young and had too much time on my hands. Late was when I woke up, sometimes after noon. Whatever was ready was for my consumption. I did no ever help in the kitchen. I spent hours gaming, watching movies, and chatting with friends. The weekends were set for fun and partying. Life meant living in the moment for me. My dad had arrived home early, an unusual thing, while I sat silently in our living room. He looked serious and tired. He had entered that door with a smile for me a few times. It was absent this time. Son, we need to talk, he whispered. A smile came on my face, expecting him to say something funny, but he didn't. Sit down, he said. I sat on the couch, waiting for him to say more. My father looked at me with draining eyes, then said, You are growing up now. It's time you understand that life is not always easy. I chuckled softly and said, But father, with everything we need at the moment, why should we ever bother about hardships? He shook his head and replied, Never mind. I have worked hard all my life to provide for this family. But one day I won't be here to take care of you. You need to be ready to stand on your own 2 feet. I was confused. I did not want to think about that. I told him, Don't worry, father. Nothing will change. He looked long into my eyes and said, We will see. I was not able to sleep all that night, with his words remaining there in my head. Was he perhaps worried about something? Was there a problem with the business? I wanted to broach that topic, but something stopped me. Early in the morning, my father knocked at my door and said, Get ready. I want to show you something. I was annoyed. Up until that day, I was always sleeping late and indulging in gorging late lunches, not going out for an early breeze. But these were not the usual streets. This neighborhood was different. The streets were dirty, and the buildings were old and crumbling. People were either walking with weary faces or selling food and small things on the sidewalks, hinting at the latest city bustle. The old man was setting up the fruit stall, carefully arranging his apples and oranges. That fellow wakes up before dawn every day. He works outside now in cold, now in heat, at times without resting, just to feed his family. said my father. I looked back at him, then looked away quickly. I had never seen the like of him before. My life was so very much different. Then he took me further to a tailor's shop, where an old lady was sewing by hand. Her back was bent, her hands worn, yet she did not stop. She has been working here for more than 30 years, said my father. She may not have much money, but she is proud of her work and life. That left me feeling strange. I had never thought about people like those who work so hard each day for just living. Onward to the car, he said, "You see, life is not the same for everyone. Some people are fighting it every day, struggling. They don't have that comfortable life you have. You have never had a day's work in your life." I had no answer. I felt so small and guilty. For the first time, I saw a different side to my life. When we reached home once more, my father said, "Starting tomorrow, you will come to my office and work with me. You will learn to live." I laughed. "Work? Me? I don't need to work." He shook his head mysteriously. "Yes, you do. It's time that you learned what work means. One day I won't be here to shelter you. You must be prepared for that day." This was shocking. I wanted to argue against it, but I could not hide the seriousness I saw in his eyes. At 5 in the morning, waking up with a pounding heart, I dressed up the way I had never been dressed before to be with my father. He gave me my lunchbox and said, "You shall take your lunch with you." Now this is a real job. In place of the big room wherein my pa worked, a fine room, he took me to a cramped little space filled with desks and computers. "This is where you start working from," he said. Then came a fellow called Mr. Collins, who greeted me in an almost solemn way and was wearing glasses. "You will work under me," he said. Mr. Collins dumped a mound of papers on me and said, "Check these numbers carefully. Find mistakes. Work fast." Looking down on the sheets, my mood went away. The numbers were just the same to me. After 5 minutes, my head felt as if it was splitting, and my eyes felt very tired. I wanted to make it quit, but I couldn't have. Everybody else was working hard and in utter silence. I did the best I could. It was lunchtime as I was opening my lunchbox. The food was rather standard sandwich and a fruit. No fancy drinks. I watched my coworkers eat fast and get back to work. No long breaks or chit-chat. I was missing my former life, a life of fun and freedom. Yet I felt respect, the respect for those who sweat it out every other day. Then came the harder afternoon. My back started aching from sitting, while my hands looked to be sore from all the writing. Mr. Collins checked my working papers, and he found too many mistakes. "Do it again," he barked. I sighed, though not resisting, determined to prove to myself that I could do this. Tired but changed, I found myself realizing how hard the working life was, and that money was not easy to be made. The sound of my father's voice welcomed me outside. For the first time in days, he smiled. "How was your day?" I smiled back wistfully, proud of my doing. Days passed into weeks. Their first had been the struggling days, the constant pain in the muscles, and slowly my condition improved. Less errors, more speed, and sometimes hearing from Mr. Collins himself, "Good job." Never would anybody want to outgive such a compliment. I began to respect him all the more. I admired how he would have risen early, conducted drills in decision-making, and dealt with whatever problems could come up in running the business that very day. One evening, while in the office, my father called me. "You have changed," said he. "You understand what it means to work and to take responsibility. He handed me a small key. "This is your new office," he said. It was a shock to me. "My own office?" He nodded. "You are ready for more responsibility. You have earned it." Holding that key, I felt a heavy burden on one hand and a new strength on the other. It was more than just a key, the gift of trust. From that day on, I worked harder and harder. I learned how to lead, how to make decisions, and how to face challenges. I made mistakes, but I never quit. In retrospect, it is funny me thinking once that life was easy and money was simple. Now I know life is about work, about effort, about building something with your own hands. My father gave me more than money. He gave me the lesson of a lifetime. Now I am ready for the future, not because I have money, but I am ready because I know how to earn it. Thank you for watching. I hope this class today was of meaning and that it offered you a new angle with which to learn some cool thing. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and do share with your friends. Do leave your questions and suggestions in the comments below. Would be great to hear from you. See you tomorrow for another a la carte English talk. Bye for now.